And we're at Mill River Union High School, back home at Mill River, as we've got Jessica McDonald in the circle taking on the Springfield Cosmos, and Brianna Gunn will be the leadoff batter here for Springfield, one of the better leadoff batters in the league, and she'll take a big swing at that first pitch and follow it out of play for strike one. We are underway in a game that has all kinds of significance and importance to both sides, but especially for Mill River. They're trying to, there'll be a strike on the inside corner, 0-2 the count. The way I could figure, the best math I could do, and all the information I can get online, is if they win out today in their last game of the year against Burr and Burton, they'll be inside for a ball. Makes the count 1-2 to the first batter of the ball game for the Cosmos in the white, Mill River in the red. But if Linden wins out, Otter Valley wins out, and Mill River wins out, they're going to be landing somewhere in that 4 to 5 spot for seedings, and that throw will go to first, and it'll be a 1-3 ground out lead with the catch, and I'll set the defense, of course, as we progress here in the ball game, and that'll be the first out of the ball game. As always important to get Gunn out. She's a, like I said, a good hitter, but also once she gets on base, she's a pain in the butt out there. And now they're going to have Ashley Richardson up to shortstop for Springfield. We're in the first inning, scheduled for 7. It's an overcast day. Sun does now and then occasionally peek in and out. There's a slight breeze blowing, and the temperature's very comfortable. If I had to venture a guess, I would say 64 degrees. How's that for a guess, huh? So Richardson will await the pitch from the right-handed senior, and McDonald. And it's going to be out of play. We're with just 2 losses on a year, but both losses coming in league play to Otter Valley. A 3-0 loss up in Brandon, and then a 5-3 loss here on their home field. They do have going for them, that's going to be a swing and a miss on the rise ball. That'll be 2 strikes now on Richardson. They do have going for them 3 wins against Division I schools. They played up a division and got the victories. So, and good idea. She tried to go outside and get her to chase, and she wouldn't do it. And we'll stay with the 2 strikes to Ashley Richardson with Amelia Thompson on deck. Richardson's the shortstop. Thompson will be the catcher, and this should be a good one down in Springfield. And boy, that just missed. That's a tough one to take with a couple strikes on you. I believe that's made it a full count now. The score in the first game of the year between these 2 schools was 3-0 Mill River, so it was tight. And you see Rao will look at it, and it's going to go off from the fascia board of the dugout, and it would have been out of play if she would have caught it. So, yeah, a senior battery of Jessica McDonald on the pitching position, and Nikki Rao is at the catcher spot. Amanda Lee is at first base. Chelsea Rodenis is the second baseman. This is the Mill River defense, and that's going to be to Bennett. A great pickup on a short hop, and then the scoop won't happen, and so they'll have their first base runner. Unofficially, I'm going to give her an error. And again, I am unofficial, so that could be an infield hit in the official book. It was a good scoop, just a bad throw. Lee couldn't come up with it out of the dirt. Now Thompson up with the pitcher Cahill on deck, and a runner at first now with Richardson. And we'll see what they want to do as far as trying to generate some pressure. And yeah, hit the batter, and that will allow the runner to go to second base. The batter will go to first base, and boy, the one down. Springfield, after being shut out 3-0 down in Springfield, has got to take advantage of it. Manufacture some offense. You got first and second, and the cleanup hitter Corinne Cahill up. You've got to take advantage of this with some aggressive base running. Now I know you don't want to take the bat out of the cleanup hitter's hands, but you also got to put some pressure on the defense, get the position players moving around, charging, creating some holes in that infield defensively. Get McDonald try to throw off her concentration with all the movement. Small ball bunt and caught. And she's safe, and see Rodenis in the pickle play, and the runner will be back. Now, they are talking amongst the umpires, yeah. So 2 outs, and I think I missed it. I feel bad if I did. I think I did not get the catch by Rao. So there's 2 down now. Runner's still at first and second. And that pitch will be inside and miss. What had happened, this is Jesse Haskell up to center fielder, so there's 2 down. There was the error, the batter hit by a pitch, and then that attempted bunt was popped up. The catcher, Rao, made a nice tracking of the ball and made the catch. That's going to come back to McDonald. She's going to have a chance for another assist. She will. They'll strand a couple, and we'll go to the bottom half of the first scoreless. So Corinne Cahill will be on the rubber out there in the circle at the pitcher's position. She'll have Amelia Thompson as her catcher. Then Amelia Mixonborn will be at first base. Second base will be Brianna Gunn. Ashley Richardson's your shortstop. Sarah Brendenberg is at third. And at the plate, Kayla Plouffe. And I'll finish the lineup and the outfield defensively. And that'll just miss inside. Some good pop on the ball. The top four here in your order, in case they do get to the cleanup spot, is Kayla Plouffe, Amanda Lee, Jessica McDonald, and Nikki Rao. That's the Mill River batting order here. That'll be ball 2. You have Meredith Ward in left field, Jessie Haskell's in center field, and Bridget Wentworth is your right fielder. And that finishes the defense now for Springfield. The Cosmos in the white tops, green bottoms, and that will just be high, and she'll fall down in the count. 3 balls and no strikes. And again, there is a slight breeze blowing at this moment in the game, not enough to really cause any problems for the fielders. And she'll walk on 4 pitches. And again, now Mill River has had throughout the season no hesitation in generating offense from their running game, or trying to be aggressive on the running into the game. Amanda Lee up there, and see, she'll swing away or she'll small ball. Like I said, big game for Mill River as far as keeping pace with getting one of the top 4 or 5 seeds, and that will be thrown to Gunn. Plouffe came in, and you see the shortstop looked as surprised as anybody when the ball didn't go to her on the throwdown. So there's the stolen base, and don't be surprised if they steal small ball or if she steals again. McDonald on deck with Rao. McDonald in the first game between these two schools had a home run. So there's a small ball, and Plouffe will release now, and that's safe at first base. Yeah, that's the way to execute it. The runner at second did not release too early where she could get picked off or pickle played or thrown out at third. She waited, made sure the pitcher was going to go to first base. So Amanda Lee with a good job is safe at first base, and that'll bring up McDonald. Like I said, I do believe it was a 2-run homer she had back in the first meeting. So again, she's representing along with Rao the power in the order. And I'll be very surprised to see her not swinging away. I don't expect any small ball here. And there's a strike, and there's the fake, and yep. Now, that has worked this year. Remember in the Otter Valley game against Rutland? The third baseman had the ball hit to her, and she faked, for Rutland, she faked the throw home and then tagged the runner out who led off from third base long. I'm thinking Otter Valley, but it might not be. That's going to be a live ball. That's going to get the runner safe, and they'll throw it out of play, and there comes the run home. So a crazy play, and McDonald will come up on second base. So what looked to be an innocent little blooper on the infield turns into 1 run scored, and runners at second and third now. Plouffe scored. Lee goes to third. McDonald, with actually a couple errors on that play, went up at second, nobody down, and Rao up, Nikki Rao. Now McDonald will have a courtesy runner coming out to take her spot, and of course that's going to be number 12, Taryn Redenis. So Redenis coming out to courtesy run for the pitcher McDonald. Oh, it's all about execution. Like I said, a very routine, harmless looking play right there turned into a disaster for Springfield. So Cahill looking for the first out of the inning as they have gotten to the cleanup batter, and that's going to be the catcher, senior captain, Nikki Rao up there. That's a good pitch right there for a strike. Lee is at third, McDonald's at second. On deck is Brandy Bennett, to be followed by Chelsea Redenis. Taryn Redenis is at second base. And we have a 1-0 score. And she held off on that. That was a good pitch. It definitely was a ball, but that was a good pitch to throw right there. And it did explode up and down the strike zone. Little check swing foul ball. Picked up by Coach Plantica, and he'll throw it back in, so she will get the strike on that check swing foul ball. Like I said, Mill River with just the 2 losses, both coming to Otter Valley, looking to enhance their positioning in the playoffs. And that was a great pitch. And that was rise ball in the outside corner. We'll get Rao going down, swinging at strike 3. That was the first out recorded here in the bottom of the first, still 2 on, and now Brandy Bennick up. Bennick's had some big hits this year. She's got the infield drawn way in. They brought everybody from first, second, short, and third in tight. She showed no indication of bunting there. And I would have been surprised with her tendencies and the coach's tendencies to have her lay down the small ball on that. I expect her to be swinging away. The reason I say that even though I'm a big believer in small ball, there are some players who are comfortable small balling, and there are some players who just fight it tooth and nail, and I don't believe Benek likes to bunt, and I think they're working to her strength by letting her just swing away. And it'll be way inside and low, and that'll be a ball. Now Springfield with Vredenberg way in at the corner at third base. I mean, literally shaking hands with the batter. And I don't know if a scouting report or remembrance from the first game, but Benek is not a bunter. And that'll be called a strike. On deck behind Benek, like I said, it's Chelsea Redenis and Melissa Mangan. So Mill River able to get at least one run here, trying to add to that lead. She'll swing through that, and that should be a full count now. Getting inside rise ball, good position, had her on the hands, and just overpowered her with the pitch. Cahill in the circle has had a few errors made behind her that have not helped her out here in this first inning of play. That was a good rip at the ball, fall off, and we'll stay at a full count. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Mill River community, the athletic director Rob Black, the coach Gary McDonald, all the parents of the Mill River players, and everybody involved with Mill River sports for allowing me to videotape their games and put them on Channel 15. And that's going to be out of play. Yeah, they won't even chase it. That's going to be over, out of play, over the top of the dugout, well out of play. And don't forget also, not only can you turn on Channel 15 and watch the sports in any event, actually, but you can also go to the web at www.PEGTV.com and watch any program you want anywhere in the world. And Benek will be struck in the leg, and that will load the bases up. She'll be hit by a pitch. So each pitcher has hit a batter. And now Chelsea Redenis up with one down, and the base is juiced. Now, not, a lot of people would say, oh my God, bases loaded, one out, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah, right, this isn't a great situation, but it's not a horrible situation. You have a force out at any base, which makes it easier, and you have more combinations now to come up with a double play to get out of the inning to end everything. There's a strike. This is where I believe now in this portion of the order here, where a small ball would be very effective. Even though they're in tight, there's a lot of pressure on the defense to make a play if the ball's laid down on the bunt. Redenis, standing in tall, will swing away, and that'll be fouled out of play, and she'll be down 0-2 in the count. Now that might limit their options to be hesitant to put the bunt on with the 2-strike count. Not totally taking it out of the equation, but putting it down on the options chart. And the pitch from Cahill will come in just a little high. Right idea. Came up the ladder. And so Cahill looking for that second out here and trying to keep the damage at just one run right now. They'll wind up the pitch, and a good job right there laying off the rise ball. So we'll go to a 2-2 count. Lead on at third base for Mill River. Taryn Redenis at second and Brandy Benek at first. And boy, 3 times she has gone to the rise ball. 3 times she has missed. And 3 times good discipline by Redenis. So yeah, after being down 0-2 in the count, she's worked it to a full count, and the pitch on the way will be fisted, and that ball. I was waiting for Carlton to make the call. And almost would have been a great out right there. Big out if they could have just backed up a few more steps and made the grab in foul territory. But a second chance being awarded here to Redenis to stay with a full count. We're at 1-0 score in the bottom of the first. Mill River with the lead. They're at the plate. And you are being Munger visioned right now. Got her. Yeah. And that's just something, as an outside observer, watching all the games this year. I only missed the Bells Falls game. There's certain portions of the order that small ball would have been, I think, more effective for. Melissa Mangan up now. Now she's been hitting the ball very well. She'll swing through that. And I'll tell you what, if Cahill gets out of this jam and only gives up the 1 run, that could be a huge boost or momentum maker for Springfield. And strike 2. So she's up in the count now, 0-2, just like she was to Redenis. Let's see if she stops nibbling and just goes right after her here and tacks her with this pitch. 2 down, bases loaded, and the pitch. Oh, she went right back to the rise ball. Same sequence she used against the previous batter. So Mangan looking to make contact and put pressure on the defense, force him to make the play. That's going to be a little nubber to Cahill, to first base. That's the inning, and Springfield will only go up to 1 run. It'll be 1-0 Mill River going in the top of the second. So McDonald will look at Amelia Makesporn, and then Meredith Ward and Wentworth due up here in the top of the second. Mill River again only limited themselves to the one run, as they had a great opportunity to kind of have a big inning there. And that's been one of their problems all year, coming up with a timely hit. Lee will make the grab, so Amanda Lee at first base will make the grab. And I think if you start evaluating last year's 15-2 team to this year's squad, I think one area personally that I'm surprised in is, no, I don't want to say no improvement, but problems offensively for him. You know, the pitching we knew would be solid. We knew the catcher's position would be good. They've had some excellent games defensively. Redennis will go to first. Yeah, and there's a 4-3 ground out. I mean, the Otter Valley loss here at home was probably one of their worst defensive games they could have played. I forget how many errors I had down in the book. But I think it's been their offense that surprised me the most, at an area that I think they actually started the season off better offensively and then kind of declined as the season went along. Now, they can change that. So it's Bridget Wentworth up with 2 down and nobody on. And what's been a very quick inning so far for Mill River is McDonald will miss high and be down 1 ball, no strikes. That's going to be back to McDonald. She's looking for her 3rd assist. She'll have it. 1-2-3 inning for McDonald and Mill River. They'll come up in the bottom of the second, leading 1-0. So Mill River sent 7 batters to the plate in that first inning and only came up with a 1 run. This is Andrea Chambers, and she will look at a pitch a little bit too inside for a ball. So it'll be Chambers and the DH Chelsea Phelps, and back to the top of the order, and Kayla Plouffe. Corinne Cahill in the circle. She has 2 strikeouts in that first inning and an assist. So she actually pitched very well. There were some errors behind her that really allowed that run to happen, but I think the key sequence in that whole thing, though, was the sacrifice that was laid down by Lee that turned into a base hit that kind of put everybody in perspective, in position-wise, for McDonald to come up and make contact. Oh, great pitch. Outside corner to Chambers. She'll step out and think about that one. Look down to the head coach, Gary McDonald, is doing an outstanding job here in his first year as being a head coach. And he gave her the sign, and she will walk, so they will get, for the 2nd inning in a row, the leadoff batter on via the walk, and Chambers will be down there at first base. Like I said, the DH is Chelsea Phelps. She's hitting for Desiree Gray. It is 1-0 Mill River in the bottom of the second. And that's going to be foul over onto the baseball field, out of play for a strike to Phelps. Now Phelps got a lively bat. She's got the quick hands through the strike zone, and a little bit I've seen her play this year. But again, what you want to do here, put some pressure on him, make some contact, make him make a play. Chambers got a fake steal, and then she went back to first. And the catcher, of course, is Amelia Thompson. Amelia Makesenborn is down at second. Brianna Gunn's, actually Makesenborn's out first. Brianna Gunn is down at second, and that's going to be fouled out of play for a strike. Ashley Richardson's your shortstop for Springfield. Sarah Vredenberg is at third base. Meredith Ward is in left field. Jessie Haskell's in the center, and Bridget Wentworth is in right field. So they'll step back in now with the 2 strikes on Chambers. And the pitch. That's going to be hit deep and looks to be, nope. I thought it was under control. And you know what really happened there? Communications. Yeah, it should be safe. So Chambers will be in second base. So Chambers will be at second base, and Chelsea Phelps will be at first base. And again, the biggest problem with that fly ball, I'm standing about 15 to 18 feet from those fielders where I'm shooting with the camera behind the outfield fence. Not a single word was uttered. There was no communications between the center fielder and the right fielder. And that's why they shied away from each other and shied away from the ball. Plouffe up, she walked and scored, and she's trying to small ball it. And there's the catch, there's the throw, there's the double play. Yeah, and it's been execution. Whether they're swinging away or they're small balling it, it's been execution. And all of a sudden, what looked like a big inning has 2 down now and a runner at second. And I'm just trying to get my math done, 3 to 4. So That's going to be fouled out of play. This is Amanda Lee up, so the double play. There, I got my bookwork done. Lee had a bunt single back in the first inning. So again, Mill River had looks of something sharp happening offensively and kind of shot himself in the foot there. Cahill to first, and they got her. Cahill with a nice play, and she will get the out. That'll end the inning. We'll stay at 1-0 Mill River going into the top of the third over Springfield. So the number 9 hitter for Springfield, Sarah Vredenberg, up now, and then the top of the order, and Brianna Gunn and Ashley Richardson. Surprisingly enough, McDonald without a strikeout to this point in the ball game, and she is a strikeout pitcher. She has outstanding control, good command of her pitches, throws a variety of pitches well, and is a strikeout pitcher. She's had a 15 strikeout performance this year, and that's hit a mile. That's going to land in fair territory. It's going to be at least a double, and they're going to send her to third base. The throw will come in, and she hesitated, and she's going to be out. She's out. I'm waiting to see what happened here. No, I thought Bennick reached around and got the tag, but I don't know where the ball is. Did she drop the ball? That's an interesting play. I'll have to watch that on the tape, rewind it, because it looked like Bennick had played up the line, got the throw, turned around and tagged her, but she might have lost control of the ball. So a leadoff triple here for Vredenberg, who pulled the ball, and she got her on that rise ball. Now Gun up. So Springfield, after being held pretty much at bay here, they did get on a base runner on with Richardson on an error, and then a hit batter in Thompson. But other than that, now they're just one base away from taking and tying the ball game up. That's how important not picking up those runners in the first and second inning were to Mill River. And like I said, the first meeting of the year between these two schools was only 3-0, a win. Most of that offense coming in that's going to get the run in. That's going to be an error, and yep. So we're going to be tied up at 1-1. And again, this is a very spunky Springfield team. Like I said, they've worked themselves out of jams here in a couple of the first 2 innings, and they've stuck around to tie the ball game up. So Vredenberg will come in. And it's going to be an error on Munger. And now Richardson up. She reached on an error back in the first inning. We're in the third, tied at 1. Springfield at the plate in the white uniforms with the green bottoms, and Mill River out in the field defensively, and they're wearing the red, and that's going to be bunted back. Almost able to be caught by Rao. So we'll see now. I personally think once you start with the bunt, you stay with the bunt. I see so many teams that either swing away the first pitch, there's a strike, and then they go to the bunt on the second pitch, and they miss it or follow it off, there's a strike, and vice versa. And that's going to be foul ball. But if you attempt the bunt the first time, first pitch, I don't see why you wouldn't stick with it the second pitch. And she didn't. She went swinging away right there. Not that it's automatic, but she's got 2 strikes on her now. We'll see what they want to do as far as laying down the small ball. Richardson and Springfield tied up at 1 with Mill River, all right down the pipe. Good night. Sit down. Adios. I was talking in the dugout prior to the start of the game to Coach Rao, and I was unable to make the Bells Falls game. Couldn't help it. Would have loved to have been here. Thompson up now. She was hit by a pitch her first time up. But the game prior to that was the Otter Valley game, and I was just talking with Coach Rao, and I just said one thing that I think the Mill River squad's done way too much of this year is watch strike 3 go by. They've had a lot of 2-strike counts and have not defended the plate well this season. Springfield doing it right there. That's playable. That's playable. No, that's going to be out of play. Off the dugout roof behind the backstop, so it would be a strike on a foul ball. And that last strikeout was McDonald's first strikeout of the ball game. The pitcher, Corinne Cahill, is the on-deck batter for Springfield. And this is shaping up to be a nail-biter. This could be the difference in a home playoff game and going on the road for Mill River, a win here today. Or at least, say, 1 home playoff game. Bennick with the good scoop, the throw, and got her. So that is going to be 2 down now, and a runner will advance to second base. Well, a win today could be the difference in 1 home playoff game, then being on the road, or 2 home playoff games. So now Cahill up. She popped out to Rao, the catcher. Remember the play where I think I missed the catch? Well, she's back up there. So Cahill trying to give her team the lead. They have a runner in scoring position with good speed, and that's going to be Redenis to first. Got it. So Springfield will tie it up at 1. We'll head into the bottom of the third, all knotted up. Yeah, so Corinne Cahill now looking at the power part of the order with McDonald, Rao, and Bennett due up. McDonald reached on an error. Mill River left the bases loaded after picking up just 1 run in the first inning. Had a first and second no-out situation in the second, and then popped up into a double play. So they've had base runners on. They just have not executed well as far as moving them around. And Springfield, to their credits, had a lot to do with that. McDonald with a big swing and a foul ball. I'd like to remind you again that American Legion Post 31 baseball action coming up on PEGTV Channel 15 Sports. And again, you can catch all the programming right on your computer online. You can be on a business trip in Niagara Falls, or in Alabama, or in Russia. And all you gotta do is go on to PEGTV.com, click video on demand, and pick the program you want to watch, and watch it right there on your computer. Can't make it any more accessible, any more simple, any more easier for you. We are now not only the leader in Rutland County, but on the web for local sports. And the pitch from Cahill. And again, McDonald with the good eye there will take the walk. She didn't want to walk, but she will be walked, so she'll be down at first base. And Nikki Rao up, she struck out. She's one of 2 strikeout victims that Cahill has gotten. Rao, as again, what we're waiting for is Taryn Rodenas to come out and take McDonald's spot at first base. She will courtesy run for her again. And so Rao looking to amend for that first, and she struck out swinging also, and she'll show small ball, pull it back, go to slap, and they're going to get the definite out, and got it. I like the play. They had a chance at second, but it was going to be a 50-50 chance. They took the shore out. So that will get the runner over to second base on the slap, and then it'll become a 1-3 ground out. Brandy Bennett up. She got hit by a pitch back in the first inning. We're in the bottom of the third. We're tied at 1. Springfield's Corinne Cahill out there, number 2 with her back to the end of the circle. And that's going to be down to second base, and they'll take and get the second out. The runner will advance to third, but what Springfield's done is played for the outs here, which is great. Fundamentally sound baseball, and now if they can just get that third out right now, the runner will become irrelevant. Now Chelsea Rodenas up. She struck out back in the first inning. They had no bunt attempts with her first at bat. Let's see if they want to change that up here in the second attempt and second time through, and see if she tries to lay down a small ball, and she'll take a pitch inside that too tight, and it'll be called a ball. Again, Brandenburg, she's only in about 4 or 5 feet at the corner. That's pretty much standard position for softball. She's not expecting the bunt, and she's not getting it, and there's going to be the now you got to take advantage of this second life. That should have easily been the third out right there. And what happened there was the catcher, using one hand, didn't toss the mask away. He had it in her other hand and tried to catch the catcher's mitt with one hand. So Rodenas with the 2 strikes will nub it, foul, and somebody better grab that. Yeah, Brandenburg will come in and grab it so it can't trickle back into fair territory. So that catcher back there having a Thompson's got to get a fundamentally sound inning in here, kind of tighten itself up back there. She's getting loose. As Rodenas will take a few warm-up swings, step back in there, and she is set. And Cahill trying to get her to go up out of the strike zone, and she didn't bite this time. Down at third base, after McDonald walked, the courtesy runner Taryn Rodenas came on, and she's at third, but there are 2 down now. A 1-1 game in the bottom of the third on PEGTV Channel 15 from Mill River Union High School. That'll be out of play, so we'll stay with the 2 strikes. Again, it's an overcast day. The sun playing peekaboo now and then. There's a threat of rain later in the afternoon. And what breeze is blowing, I believe personally, is a non-factor right now. It's always windy out in center field in Mill River. It's one of the more comfortable days to be out here. All through the changeup, and that's going to be from Brandenburg to first, and got her. They'll strand another one in scoring position. We'll stay tied at 1 going into the 4th inning. So Springfield, being the underdog and being the road team's got to like where they are right now in the 4th inning. Tied at 1, and they have Haskell, Makesporn, and Ward up. And McDonald will start off with a strike on the drop ball. Now Haskell grounded out to McDonald, who's been busy fielding her position. As right on cue, she'll do it again, I believe. I'll go back through the book. I believe she has 4 assists already on those 1-3 groundouts. And I'll tell you right now, I'll double check. How's that? She had 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 2nd, and 2 in the 1st. So yeah, she's at 1 strikeout and 4 assists. So she's getting that drop ball. Very effective right there. She's looking at Amelia Makesporn right there. She has popped out to Lee at first base. So Amanda Lee made the catch on the fly ball. I'll tell you, that was fouled back, and Nikki Rao had her hand in the breadbasket right there. Lucky she didn't break a finger or get a bruise on it or something. So an 0-2 count. McDonald looking for her 2nd strikeout on the afternoon. It's been quiet for her from that perspective. Again, beautiful idea sequencing. She just went on the outside corner. Didn't get the call. It was definitely a ball, but trying to stretch the strike zone out and trying to stretch the batter to go out of the strike zone and go after the pitch. Missed low this time. We're working now to an even count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And so Amelia Makesporn all set, and she'll get contact, and this is going to be caught by Redenis, the second baseman, covering some ground there, showing some range, and there's 2 outs now for Springfield. And again, it's a 1-1 game. Mill River with their run in the 1st, Springfield with their run in the top of the 3rd. We're in the top of the 4th, and now Meredith Ward up. She grounded out to Redenis at 2nd on a 4-3 ground out. Swing and a miss on that curveball. And again, the clouds have been coming overhead. Again, it is supposed to rain. If you watch that Channel 15 bulletin board weather forecast, now I said later in the afternoon, and I was hoping they meant later like 7 or 8 o'clock, which I guess that'd be evening, wouldn't it, after 6 p.m. Because after all the years of doing this stuff for Channel 15 and going through every condition you can imagine, every crisis, I forgot my umbrella and my pop-up tent, which protects not me, forget about me, I'm over the hill and shot, but it protects my equipment, my camera and my tripod and my bookwork, and that's what I worry about. I could care less if I get wet. Oh, she'll get it. Painted the corner, got the call, and that'll end the inning. Another nice job by McDonald and the defense. And Mangan will look at strike 1. It's going to be Melissa Mangan, Andrea Chambers, and then Chelsea Phelps due up here. Mangan grounded up the pitcher Cahill in her only at bat, and she will swing through that for a strike right there. It'll be 0-2. Again, you take away the errors by Springfield early in the ball game, and they're in the lead right now, 1-0. They're tied at 1-1 in reality, but if you could take away those, then that will be a quick at bat. As she went after the rise ball, and again, good sequencing of pitching right there. So that becomes the 3rd strikeout. They've also turned a double play. So Springfield, you know, they don't have a tremendous record. Chambers up now. They are kind of team that can be a real pain. Oh, she's kind of found her rhythm here in the pitching department right now, as Chambers walked and got stranded at 2nd base in the 2nd inning. But Cahill, just erratic enough to keep you off balance. Just a little bit of wildness, you know, be a bother, and that's going to be down to 2nd to 1st. So Gunn will get it number 3. She'll flip the 1st, and quickly 2 down here. And of course, over at first base that's Amelia Makesporn. So that goes as a 4-3 ground out, and I'll bring up the DH number 9 hitter in the order, Chelsea Phelps. She reached on an error and was part of the double play back a couple innings ago, and actually back in the 2nd inning. And so Mill River, in a situation where they really need the win here to enhance their seedings, their playoff seeding, having a bit of a struggle offensively, which has been their problem this year. They've had a couple innings per game where they just kind of throw the ball around. So the pitching was never going to be an issue this year. It's just getting all the rest of the pieces and parts. And again, can't catch up to the rise ball, and that's been her most effective pitch in the last 2 innings. Has been the rise ball. Okay, so she's got 3 strikeouts. Cahill does, looking for number 4, which would end the inning. And she's going in the windup, and boy, just missed. I tell you, she gave him a little bit of a look to the umpire inside there, and that was a close pitch. I believe it was a ball, but we'll get back to that thing about 2 strikes. Got to get that bat off your shoulder, and you can't wait for a borderline call. You got to protect the plate. she will end it right there. No, only strike 2. I apologize. I apologize. Thought she had 2 strikes prior to that. So now she definitely does have 2 strikes. And she'll walk. First time in a 2-strike count that Cahill didn't throw the rise ball and it burned her. She'll come back with the walk. I know she doesn't want to become predictable either, so she has to throw a little bit of a changeup in there. And now Kayla Plouffe was walked and scored the only run back in the first inning for Mill River. And she also tried to play down a bunt that led to that double play, and that's going to be high for a ball. And the runner Phelps will stay at first base. Mill River does have a few steals in the ball game. And now Plouffe all set. Again, they're at the number 1, 2, 3, 4 spot now in the order. With 2 down, though. With 2 down, and she'll take that one right down the pipe for a strike. And again, any of the local teams other than Rutland advance or host the playoff game, or however it works, I'll be there. So of course I'm talking about, you know, Mill River. I doubt MSJ will host. West Rutland, Otter Valley, teams like that. I'll put a couple dollars worth of gas in the car. Well, actually, what's $10 is about 2 gallons now, right? And head out and cover that playoff sports for you. Of course, if MSJ boys baseball team has a home playoff game, I'll be there covering that. Other than that, you can be looking for Sports Beat on Mondays at 4:30 in the afternoon, Tuesdays at 5:30 in the afternoon, and Thursday night at 9, and that'll miss high. That will become a walk. So after getting 2 quick outs here, back-to-back walks, Mill River looking for some 2-out numbers, some 2-out scores. Amanda Lee up. And what they've got now, there we go, is a conference going on in the circle. His coach, I'm trying to see, that's Bladika. Yeah, he's out there talking it over. And what we have going on now is the base runner second. Phelps is down talking to coach, her head coach, Gary McDonald, at third base. And so a lot of strategy going on as you're at the midway point of the ball game, and each team knowing right now, in a 1-1 game, there's only 3-0 the first game, so it hasn't had the makings of a big offensive breakthrough for either side. So they know that this could be the deciding inning right now. So Amanda Lee up there, and see, she's going to swing away, or they're going to small ball. Okay, now she's been laying down the bunts, relatively effective. She showed full swing right there, but held up on the pitch. And another thing too, if you're really disciplined and experienced, and you're going to bunt, but you see the pitch is obviously going to be a ball like that, don't tip. Don't tip your hand that you're going to bunt. No, she's going to swing away, and that's going to be through the hole for a base hit. They'll throw to first, she'll be safe. They'll throw home, and she'll be safe. And Mill River will take the lead, and Springfield, after all that conferencing and strategizing, kind of threw the ball around. Now, they had the right idea on that 9-3 attempt. Yeah, so Phelps comes in to score. Plouffe ends up at third. Lee ends up at second. And then you mix in a couple errors. Lee will get the base hit. That's good job right there, going up after a high pitch and getting it. Now McDonald up, and she's going to jump on the first pitch. Cahill will make the grab, the damage done. 2-1 Mill River, going into the 5th inning of play from Mill River Union High School. So Springfield's going to be looking at their 8, 9, and then top of the order hitters. Bridget Wentworth, Sarah Brendenberg, and then Brianna Gunn coming up. Now they're back down by 1 run, and there's a strike called on the McDonald pitch. Clutch hit by Amanda Lee led to eventually the go-ahead run coming in. And that's going to be strike 2. Again, only 2 strikeouts in the ballgame to this point by McDonald. She's issued no walks, and she has hit 1 batter. There's been 2 errors committed behind her. And again, it was 3-0 down in Springfield. Mill River with the win. And it's only 2-1 right now in the 5th. And Mill River coming off a dramatic win over Bellows Falls, 2-1. A game I dearly wish I could have been here to do. And Wentworth kind of fooled on the pitch. It was a ball, but it was nowhere near as tight to her as she had made out to be there. Kind of fooled her on the pitch. And McDonald now with the 2-2 count will go for the strikeout, and see, that's her out pitch. She likes to go to that corner. That was a little, she stretched the plate a little bit too far right there, and I believe it's a full count now. Got her. Beautiful. McDonald, I don't think, and again, all of these things I think and don't think are just my opinion. They really mean absolutely nothing, and they're not criticisms, just observations from watching so many games over the years. I think she's kind of got away from just power pitching this year. She's looking for a little more finesse, and she worked in a few new pitches into her mix of a bag of tricks, but when she just rears back and fires, she's pretty tough to hit. And that's going to be foul ball strike right there. So the leadoff batter retired on a strike. That's her third strikeout. Now Vredenberg up. Vredenberg had to triple in the third and eventually scored. And I mean, she pulled the ball. It was a legitimate triple. It was crushed, actually. And that's going to be grabbed. I think I actually got it on tape. Amanda Lee with those great reflexes. Just a good athlete, Lee is. And that will be 2 down now on the ball. Sharply hit. It was snagged by Lee at first base. Brianna Gunn up now, and she's reached base once today on the error by Mangan at shortstop. And that'll be too far outside for a ball. Yeah, clouding up. Got the threat of rain. We're in the 5th, scheduled for 7, and it looks like it's going to be makeable. Rao try and track the ball. You can see it land on the other side of the backstop fence, and we'll just send Gunn back to home base as we'll get set here. As McDonald firing away, looks much better later in the ballgame than she did in the first couple innings. So she's going to let it go away, and that's going to be hit, and Bennick will make the grab for the out, and that will do it. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Mill River up 2-1 over Springfield. Nikki Rao, the catcher, up for the 3rd time today. She has struck out and grounded out to the pitcher, Cahill. And she'll lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th for Mill River as they hold on to that 2-1 lead. And ooh, good pitch, real good pitch. And as I just stated prior, McDonald looking stronger later in the game than she was earlier in the game. Cahill looking stronger later in the game than she did earlier in the game. And actually, both pitchers doing a nice job. 3 strikeouts for Cahill in this softball game. And that's another good pitch. So Rao down in the count with 2 strikes on her. And I'll do that defense for you. Amelia Thompson is your catcher. I already mentioned Corinne Cahill is the pitcher. And that's going to be fouled out of play. Down at first base defensively is Amelia Makesporn. Brianna Gunn's is second. Ashley Richardson is short. Sarah Vredenberg is at third. And I'll do the outfield after this pitch. They go change up, and that's going to be through the hole and be picked up. And she will stay at first base. So Rao will poke it through the hole between first and second for her first hit of the ball game and her first trip to the bases. And I mean by that, she could have been walked or something like that. So Bennick up. She's been hit by a pitch and then grounded out to Gunn at second base. The outfield has a Meredith Ward in it at right field. Center field is Jessie Haskell and Bridget Wentworth. So Bennick, like that first pitch, there goes the runner, and they got her. No, she is very fortunate. They just basically missed the tag. The throw was there, they had her, and they missed the tag. And again, she's very fortunate not to be tagged out because she did not slide on a close play. Seen a lot of that this year in baseball and softball. Bennick now with a chance to pad the lead with a runner down in scoring position. You know, they say that when you get to second base on, but to me, if you hit the ball hard enough, you got a runner at first, they're in scoring position. I really think when you're on base, first, second, or third, you're in scoring position. But the old cliche is, you know, when you get to second or third, then they call that scoring position. As we're in a grinder here, a real nail biter, grinded out type of game. 2-1 Mill River in the bottom of the 5th at the plate, and Cahill will be high. Nice stop by the catcher going up the ladder to get that one was Thompson. There's been a few errors by both sides, but there's been some really excellent fielding also. Pitchers have controlled the game. And you do not have to have a 10 or 12 or 15 strikeout performance to control the game or dominate the game at the pitching position. I mean, neither, you know, there were the back-to-back walks last inning by Cahill, but prior to that, she's had good control. McDonald has had her usual control, and Bennett will be hit for the second time today. No, I thought she might charge the mound, but she will not. So Bennett will go down to first base. She was hit by a pitch in the first inning also. Now Chelsea Redenis up 0 for 2. She has struck out and grounded out to Brandenburg at third. So Mill River looking for a big inning here as they have the first two batters on base and nobody down right now. And Redenis, be a great time to drop a small ball bunt right here, or bunt or small ball right here, and she'll square, she'll show, she will push it, and it'll be foul. Very fortunate that it was not caught. It was popped up down the first baseline. Now, this is what I'm talking about. You started with the bunt. There's strike one. Yeah, it's not, again, I'm just filling up airtime. It's not professional observation or gospel or anything, but I think you got to stay with the bunt. I think if you let her swing away right now, I don't know. I like staying with the bunt after you start with the bunt. And she will jump back out of the way, and she almost got hit by the pitch. And Rao was about halfway to third base. Will go back to second base. Rao has very good speed, actually. She will look down there at third base and watch the signs being flashed by the coach for Dennis. Beautiful. That's going to get the job done. There's just one play, and he will just nip her at first, and that'll get the runners now to second and third with just one down. I think that was an excellent bunt by Redenis. I think it was the right play at the right time also. So that puts pressure on the defense now. Wild pitch pass ball. Runner at third base can release and try to score. Ball hit on the infield. You got to make the play, or the runner from third can release and score. There is no force play at second and third, don't forget. So stepping up now there is Munger, and she grounded out to the pitcher Cahill, and she struck out. So Cahill has basically taken care of her herself both times. So Cahill into the windup, and that's going to be up the middle and a base hit. Here comes a run, 3-1 Mill River. They're going to send Bennett as the ball gets past the outfielder, 4-1 Mill River, and going on to third base is Munger, and yeah, she's going to be safe. You can see the ball hit her and popped away from the third baseman Brandenburg. So a big hit this time. At the right time, right place. Like I said, Mangan's been making contact all year, and she'll drive in too. Now bring up Andrea Chambers now. She has walked and grounded out to Gunn at second base, and that will make it 4-1 in the bottom of the fifth. Mill River with the lead. And again, still just the one down. No need to stop trying to score right now. And they are playing small ball. They have everybody drawn in. The whole infield completely drawn in. And I mean in like shaking hands with the umpire right now. That's how tight they are. And Chambers swinging away. And I wonder. I like playing my corners in. I leave the middle of the infield back, but everybody's in. And again, Chambers has not indicated that she is going to bunt. Oh, you can definitely tell it's going to rain any minute. It's got that scent in the air, that fresh rain smell or that wet smell coming. now I'm a meteorologist. Actually, I don't do anything well, but I have an opinion on everything. Cahill went up to the rise ball, and again, good discipline right there by Chambers. She would not chase it. And she'll just get set in Chambers. Cool customer in there, all calm and relaxed in the batter's box. Well, like that one. That was a good hitter's pitch right there. That was a good job delivering a rise ball. A little smoke on it too from Cahill. So a run in the first, a run in the fourth, and 2 in the fifth. That's where Mill River is. Let's do that again. Mill River is at. And boy, when you talk about getting a timely strikeout, she will get the second out on her fourth strikeout. And that'll bring up Chelsea Phelps now. She's reached on an error, she's walked, and she has scored, and she's been part of a double play. And that will miss down low and inside. Now, if you're Cahill, of course, you don't want to let down at all. You don't want Mangan to come in and make it a 5-1 game. You're getting into the 6th, 7th innings. And again, this is going to be a tight one. Oh, foul tip caught by the catcher Thompson. And what a swing. That was a full throttle swing right there. Top of the order, Caleb Plouffe on deck if the inning gets extended. Again, Mill River much better job this inning of laying off that rise ball. And what happened right there is a baseball came over from the adjacent field from the baseball game being played, and they called time and we're all set. And I got to use a big word, adjacent. I learned what that meant watching television. Who says TV isn't bad for you? I was watching Home Network when they did that. You know, usually I watch channel 15, but I kind of was going around the dial. And will that be playable? Will they have room? Will they have room? She got it! You couldn't see it through the umpire, but a nice job by Thompson. Now we retire the side. Mill River will pick up a couple more runs. They'll have a 4-1 lead going into the 6th. Well, if you're Springfield and you're down by 3 runs on the road, it's very doable to make it up here, but you're right where you want to be in the order, at the 2, 3, 4, 5 spot of your batting order. That's Richardson, Thompson, and Cahill, and if they go to a 4th batter, it'll be Haskell. McDonald with 4 assists today and also 3 strikeouts. She hasn't walked anybody. She's hit a batter. And that's going to be a base hit. That's going to be a gapper. And that's going to be at least a double. And they look like they're going to send her to third base. She's headed into third base. And no throw. She's going to have a lead-off triple. That ball hit the right center field gap and exploded to the fence. And that's just what you want. Like I said, you want to be at this portion of your order if you got to make up some ground. So a triple for Richardson, who had reached on an error and struck out prior to that. And Thompson up now. She's been hit by a pitch and grounded out to Bennick at third. And Springfield in a must-score situation right here in the 6th inning with the leadoff batter at third base, nobody out. And that's going to be out of play. Yeah, now McDonald, like I've said before, many games, I think I've done every home game except 2 of her 4-year varsity career. So you kind of learn the tendencies. Her nature now is to overthrow. She can manufacture an out. That's going to be a foul ball for a strike. She can take care of business with the strikeout. She's a strikeout pitcher. Even though today she hasn't really got the big strikeout numbers. But now you don't need the big numbers. You just need the placement of the strikeout strategically where you want it in the game, in the situation. This situation right here, that's going to be put into play. Charge, Mangum bobbled it. Yep. She should eat it. Oh, no, that's a big mistake. Nice job by Lee going up to get the ball. Mangum got rattled on the error. That's 2 unearned runs today for Springfield. And that's been one of the problems behind McDonald. You got a veteran pitcher who does her job well, but you got a very young fielding team. So Mangum with a couple errors today, but what she was doing right there, before she fielded the ball, I'm looking right through the lens at her, she was looking at home base to come home with the throw. So Springfield chipping away now, down 4-2, still nobody out, and a runner at first, and they're at Cahill. Cahill has popped out to Rao, the catcher, and then grounded out to Redenis at second. That should be a foul ball. Yeah, there you go. Starting to say, though, McDonald type of pitcher that she can generate the out without allowing their base runner to advance via the strikeout. I'll tell you, they've got about, I would say, 15 to 18 minutes of good weather left before that pitch black cloud behind me. And there's what I'm talking about. She just got the out on a drop ball and an absolutely beautiful pitch for the first out of the inning. That's her 4th strikeout of the ball game. Oh no, my old bones, I can tell you when it's going to rain. And it's going to rain very shortly. Oh, that drops in there. Foul. I'll tell you what, they've gotten around and pulled McDonald a couple times today as she's come up inside with their eyes ball, and they've been able to get around and anticipate. Quick bats, quick hands through that strike zone, man. A lot of people, boys and girls, baseball, softball, think it's how hard you swing. And it isn't. It's how quick you swing. It's the quickness of the bat. It's getting the hands from back to front. Now it just missed inside, and Rao will come up and fake throwing down to first base. And in a 4-2 game, Haskell up. And Haskell's grounded out to McDonald twice today. So she's grounded out to the pitcher, Jessica McDonald, both times. Had a pretty good rip at that pitch. It stayed level all the way through the strike zone, and she fouls it off toward the first base dugout, which would be Springfield's dugout, and she'll go to 2 strikes, and the count on deck is Makesporn. She's 0 for 2. And I believe Plouffe said she has it, and she does. Plouffe will, again, do what you're supposed to do, run the ball and run the runner back to first, and that will be 2 down now. So that's going to be a fly out, number 9. That'll be a fly out to right field. And Amelia Makesporn is popped out to first and popped out to second. Springfield down just 2. Both runs unearned. Good pitch. Excellent pitch. I said McDonald, a 4-year varsity starter. I just learned today. Well, you know, I didn't learn anything today. That's going to be back to McDonald. She's going to get her 5th assist. They'll pick up a run, make it close, going in the bottom of the 6th, 4-2 Mill River over Springfield. Well, Corinne Cahill, the pitcher for Springfield, pretty straightforward here, stating the obvious. She's in the 6th inning. Her team's just got a run back to cut the deficit to 2. And her job, very simple. Allow no more runs right here. Shut them down. Get a defensive stop, just like you would in basketball or football. And top of the order up, Kayla Plouffe, Amanda Lee, and Jessica McDonald to appear for Mill River on Munger Vision. Mill River with one more home softball game. Then we have to wait for the pairings to come out for the playoffs. That pitch called a strike. They'll have Burton as their home finale. And right now they're in quite a battle with Springfield. Plouffe, all set. Cahill's pitch right there. Now Plouffe right there just pulling the front foot out. Made the bat real short. She stepped toward third base on the swing. That's a left-handed hitting trait, and she's a right-handed batter, so. Oh, I used to love teaching players, boys and girls, how to hit field. Coach many years. Many years. Then I overlapped covering sports for Channel 15 with actually coaching, and my late wife, told me I had to make a choice because at some point I had to be home for our children and for her. I chose public access, which I know really probably bums out a lot of people. Great pitch. And Plouffe will take one right down the pipe, and you know what I feel about that. 2 strikes, you can't take it down the pipe. You got to get the bat off your shoulder. Lee up, she had the big hit that kept that 2-run rally going in the last inning. And she wasn't bunting there. She laid down a bunt for a base hit, and then she had the single on a full swing, and then she had a sacrifice in between all of that. So Lee having a pretty busy day at the plate, and boy, she went to the bunt with that. And it'll be fouled off. It hit the screen on the third base side of the dugout, Mill River's dugout, and again, Cahill and company looking to get out of this 6th inning with no more damage done and head into the 7th down just 2. She got her to go fishing after. I'm looking. Oh, nice job. Oh, she dropped it. That's going to be a big. She's dropped a couple today, Thompson has. She tracked it well. She got in position well, and she had her hands on the glove. But again now, see if they can take advantage of a second opportunity here. So what could have been the second out will turn into another chance for Lee to swing the bat. And that's going to be a slow grounder to Vredenberg. She will pick it up and never get her. Yeah. So it went from being the second out to all of a sudden being a runner at first base with good speed and just 1 down. Opportunities. It's all about opportunities. I mean, we've been handed one here, and see if they can take advantage of it. As Lee has been on base 3 of her 4 times today. Now McDonald up. Oh, she's anxious. There's the throw down, and tell you what, it wasn't the most picturesque slide, but it was that little effort to slide that made her safe. If she goes standing up, goes in standing up, she's out because it shortens the distance reach of the tag. McDonald's been anxious at the plate today. Yeah, she's been anxious, too anxious at the plate. And that will just miss inside. It'll make it a 1-1 count. So Lee at second base with 1 down. McDonald at the plate, Rao on deck. McDonald has reached on an error, walked, and then flying out to the pitcher, Cahill. And that's going to be right place, right time over the top of Gunn, and he's sending her. Lee will turn it on. Here comes the throw up the line, and she's going to be safe. And McDonald's going to turn head to third base. Oh, you got to finish it out, Jess. You're almost there. And she took her time, took a little tour, took a break, but she made it. Now the courtesy runner will come out. And so that will become a little insurance run, making it 5-2 Mill River. Now Nikki Rao up. She has struck out, grounded out to the pitcher. and singled and scored. Yeah, McDonald, she gets courtesy runners a lot because she's the pitcher. She looked a little rusty running right there because she was just about 3/4 of the way to third base when she came to a stop, a start, a stop, and then went in standing up. And that'll be out of play. Yes, it will be out of play. So it'll be a foul ball strike as Rao with a runner at third and just the one out. 5-2 Mill River now in the bottom of the sixth with the lead. That pitch inside at the knee, but if anything, too far inside, called the ball. It's been a very well called game from behind the plate by Carlton Laird. He's had a very good strike zone, a very consistent strike zone. And field umpire's done very well too. I just can't tell you who it is, which he's probably thankful. I don't know, early in my career, now I've done this since 1995, November 95, public access. And I don't think I'm any more opinionated now than I was then. I think I was as opinionated then, or verbal. That's a shot, that's a gush, be caught, and there's one out, and the runner does not release, so Rao will fly out. The runner will stay at third. Maybe people just got used to me sticking around so long, or maybe I became a little more tactful in expressing an opinion. But my point was, the umpires literally used to cringe when they show up and I was doing a game. Some of them actually had disdain and almost certainly disrespect, if not pure hatred towards me. Some of it deserved, some of it not. But now they seem to, for the most part, the last couple of years, just seem to ignore me, which is a good thing. That's gone. Boy, great job. She covered a lot of territory. The Mill River squad will pick up a run, and they'll have the 5-2 lead going into the seventh, looking to seal it out here. Yeah, so McDonald just 3 outs away from getting Mill River the W here, and she's had 4 strikeouts, all of them coming from the third inning on. She's hit 1 batter, walked nobody, and she's been involved in 5 assists. She's had 5 ground balls hit back to her. She's handled them all cleanly. I think that's one area she's immensely improved on since her freshman year, and that is fielding her position. She's really turned into one of the top fielding pitchers in the state of Vermont. She's looking at number 7, number 8, number 9 hitters. This is Meredith Ward up. And McDonald did a great job of showing you what I meant. She'll snag it, throw it, and she's got 6 assists now, which, you know, I guess is as good as a strikeout. And that will bring up Bridget Wentworth now. She has struck out. She grounded out to the pitcher first, then she struck out. So McDonald's had a hand in both of these outs, and I think they have a pinch hitter. Yeah, Carlton's doing paperwork. That usually means they've introduced a pinch hitter because there is no difference in the defensive alignment. Everybody's out there the same throughout the whole ball game that started the ball game. Lee, Redenis, Mangum, and Bennick on the infield. Rouse your catcher, McDonald's your pitcher, Plouffe, Chambers, and Desiree Gray. That's the outfield. So yeah, it must be a different batter, which I can't see her jersey number right now, but if I get a chance to see it, I'll try to fill you in on who it is at the plate. And it looks like a number 12, and that'd be Aaron Graham. So Graham up for the first time, batting for Wentworth. That's a swinging strike. It's 5-2 Mill River, 1 out in the 7th. That's going to be, ooh, you see the long look by McDonald too. If anything, maybe a tad high. But I'll leave the count out at 1 ball, 1 strike. McDonald winding up, and we'll get the swinging strike. That's 2 strikes now, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, and she's looking for strikeout number 5 in the ball game. That's going to be lifted and out of play. Yep, onto the roof of the dugout, and Rouse a good catcher, but no way she's going to jump on top of the roof and get to the ball before it was out of play. I'm sure it would have been a close play, but I don't know if Nikki could have pulled it off. So again, I'd like to thank the entire Mill River administration and faculty and athletic department for allowing me to cover their softball this season and bring it to you on PEGTV Channel 15 Sports. Got more softball action. Burn Burton coming on to Clarendon in Vermont, North Clarendon, Vermont to take on Mill River. I'll be here for that. And then either a home playoff game, or if the girls or if the ladies play somewhere close by, I would go do that. I don't want to get into Okay, there's going to be strikeout number 5. It's dropped, and she will just throw down to first. There it is. So 2 down now, and that's 5 strikeouts for McDonald. Now, I mean, if they played like I'm thinking like Fairhaven or something in the playoff game, I'd definitely cover that. Go over there to Fairhaven. Brandenburg up now, and 2 down, and Mill River just 1 out away from getting the win and the season sweep over Springfield. Well, I was thinking like if they had to go to Lindenville or some far, far away, like a 2-hour ride, 3-hour ride, I wouldn't do that. There's a strike from McDonald, and like I said, she finished the game. She got going in about the 3rd inning. She really got percolating, and she's picked all her strikeouts up from the 3rd inning on, but she's got a rhythm now from the 3rd inning. She's one of those pitchers who can get stronger as the game goes along, and that's what's happened today. So she's looking to end the game on back-to-back strikeouts. She has 6 assists, 5 strikeouts, and the pitch will be nubbed down the first baseline and foul. I was waiting, and there's the call. Yeah, clearly barked out, foul ball. So Brandenburg will head back down, pick up the bat, get back into the right side of the batter's box, and we'll just do it all again. 5-2, Mill River. They jumped out to the 1-0 lead after 1 inning. And that stuck around for quite a while. Springfield tied it up in the 3rd at 1-all. And that's going to be great play by Bennick. I think I actually got it on tape. So Bennick will make the snag. That'll end the game. Mill River will get the win 5-2. And a good effort by both teams. Like I said, well officiated, well umpired, well played, well coached. So congratulations to Mill River. A good job by Springfield. Get out there, support your student athletes, and please always tolerate Munger vision.